Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we take a look at the new Hammond collection, Pyroraptor. This was an odd release. We all knew this figure was coming. You know, it was promoted on the back of the packaging of the Giganotosaurus and Therizinosaurus. It was not featured in Beyond the Gates, but we all knew it was coming because this thing has been leaked. It's been released, I think, in Mexico before it got released in the US. So we all knew this figure was coming, but very, very little advertising for it. It actually popped up on the street release date. It was July 21st on Target's website, and I'll leave that link down below in the description if you want to pick this figure up for yourself. So let's take a quick look at the packaging. We have a nice render of the Pyroraptor in front of the box. That render is just top notch, looks absolutely great. Hammond Collection logo up here. Side of the box, we get a beautiful product shot of the Pyroraptor from its appearance in Jurassic World Dominion. In the back of the box, we get more renderings of the Pyroraptor. We do get a little blurb down here. Really, really weird that Delta did not come with a little blurb in the back of the box. It's the only Hammond Collection figure I think of that did not come with that. So Pyroraptor, when Kayla Watts and Owen Grady crash land on the frozen lake in Biocene Valley, they are ambushed by a perilous Pyroraptor. This feathered dinosaur with eye-catching colors is a threat both on land and water, and the encounter leaves them on thin ice in every sense. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this awesome looking figure open and take a closer look. And here is the Pyroraptor out of the package, and I have to say this is a damn good looking figure. Very, very movie accurate. Very impressed by how this thing looks. The feathering is really well done. This is, pretty much the first fully feathered raptor to appear in the franchise. Just love the feathering on the forearms. There's a couple quality control issues with how this figure is designed. It makes me very, very nervous, but we'll get into that a little bit later on in the review. So let's just do a couple quick measurements. This figure is 8 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the feathered tail, but I'm going to stop the measurement right about here. That's if you look underneath here, you can see where the tail is molded and where all that plumage comes off. So that'll bring the actual length to 7 inches or 17.8 centimeters, and it is about 3 inches tall to the top of the head of 7.6 centimeters. So the Pyroraptor in the movie is around 8 feet long or 2.4 meters. I'll put this figure somewhere in the 1/14 scale range. Now, taking a closer look at this gorgeous looking figure, the Pyroraptor is an ugly dinosaur, but man, the sculpt is pretty much spot on to how it appeared in the movie. Head is sculpted with some nice dark and light gray, especially along the side of the head. You do have that glass eye, obviously with the lighting I'm using for this review, it still looks dead, and that's my biggest issue with the glass eyes. When you get some light into it, you can see it's a nice orange with a black pupil. Teeth are sculpted and painted. We don't have a plastic insert like the Delta figure, but they're nicely sculpted and then nicely painted. No sloppy paint on mine. Got some nice pink for the tongue inside the mouth. Going to the top of the head, you have that nice plumage coming off the top, all done in a dark red coloration. And then going down to the front arms, you got some nice primary feathers sculpted in, and you get some gray feathers on the upper part of the arm. The hand claws are painted in with a dark gray. Going down to the body, you got some more of those nice deep red feathering, and you got some nice gray for the underbelly. You actually even have a little bit of dry brushing of black along the top of the back, and it extends just a little bit to the base of the tail, going to the hind legs. You got more feathers on the upper thigh. And then going down to the lower leg, it turns into some dark feathers, and you got some nicely sculpted killing claws on the feet. The claws aren't painted into just the dark gray plastic, but that is movie accurate. And then going down to the beautifully feathered tail, you have some really nice plumage at the end of the tail, and you have a little bit of like a bone-colored white for that plumage. And on the underside, you can see the tail is actually sculpted in with that plumage coming off. So yeah, all around great looking figure. Now for articulation, mouth can close completely flush. It can open up that far, and you do have a joint on the top of that neck joint, so you get some nice upwards and downwards movement. And from the front, you can see how those three joints work together, so you get some really, really nice side-to-side movement on all those joints working in tandem. Moving down to the arms, this is where I have a big problem with this figure, just the way the elbow joint is designed. So let's just do the arms. They are on a hinge. They can swing out and they can rotate 360 degrees. And now going down to that elbow joint, let's just zoom in here. It's a very small and fragile joint, and you can see you get some little bit of movement on there. I can't tell if the joint is just bending with this because it is just so fragile looking, and I have a feeling that a lot of people's figures are going to break over the years with just light play. These joints are just very poorly designed. I'm going to take out a Beast of the Mesozoic figure because they know how to do raptor arms, and I think that joint would have been a much better option than this little joint right here. Like, even get rotation on it, but it's just so thin and weak. It makes me really nervous. I think this was a horrible design choice. And here's the Beast of the Mesozoic Utah Raptor, and you can see it on the arm joint right here. It's just a much better joint, and plus it makes the feathers look a lot better when it's moving on that elbow joint. Here it is from the other side. You can see it's just a much better joint design. If they just re-sculpted this arm a little bit, they could actually pull off a joint like that, and that would have been much more stable than whatever design they decided to go with on the Pyroraptor. Going down to the legs can move backwards and forwards, and you do have a little bit of a hip pivot on those joints. And then going down to the legs, you get a really nice bend at the knee, actually better than the Raptor mold. So really impressed by that knee joint. And then going down to the feet, you do get some nice upwards and downwards movement on that ankle joint, as well as some nice tiltage on that. So very well designed leg. And then just going down to the tail, you get side to side, up and down movement, and it does have a bendy wire. And I did find out that my Delta is definitely a quality control issue. It should have had a wire in its tail, and it did not, so I'm going to have to return it and find another one. So yeah, lots of nice posing choices on this figure, and just like Beast of the Mesozoic, you can actually have this figure balance on those primary feathers for different poses. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammond Collection Owen Grady. Next up, here it is with the mainline Dominion Pyroraptor, and the Amber Collection one absolutely blows the old one out of the water. Yeah, even when this came out, just like the feather in the arms were extremely pathetic. But like I said, the Hammond Collection one is very movie accurate. Definitely the far superior version. Next up, here it is with Delta and Blue. Delta is definitely the most improved of the Raptor molds right now, especially with those separate insert upper teeth. It would have been nice if the Pyroraptor came with those improvements, but they did a really good job of sculpting and painting those teeth. You really can't even tell that they're painted unless you get a really close look at them. And lastly, here it is with a group shot of all the Dominion Hammond Collection figures that we've gotten so far. The awesome Giganotosaurus, Therizinosaurus, and Dimetrodon. With each release, the Hammond Collection just gets better and better. Absolutely love this line every time I review a Hammond Collection figure. These are Jurassic fans' dreams come true. Just we always wanted highly articulated, movie accurate dinosaurs, and we are getting them. It is a great time to be a Jurassic collector. So final thoughts on the Hammond Collection Pyroraptor. This is an amazing release from Mattel. We really needed a movie accurate Pyroraptor because the mainline one certainly wasn't doing that, and they really delivered on this piece. Absolutely love this figure. One of my favorite Hammond Collection releases so far this year, behind the Giganotosaurus. My only problem with it is those joints on the elbow. They are really thin. They are very scary, and I just have a feeling where there's going to be a lot of broken figures of this thing. Very poor joint choice from Mattel. Other than that, great figure. The articulation is good. It actually has good balance with those proportionate feet. Obviously, you can see it right here doing the one-handed pose. The feather detail is really nice, and overall, it's just a really cool looking figure. So that will do it for the review. Like I said, beginning the review, I got this off of Target's website. Link is down below in the description if you want to order one for yourself. Just going to do the 93 Classic Rex, and I think I'm all caught up on everything for the time being. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I don't know why I can't talk today, but I'll see you guys for the next one.